So we have seen and discussed about this separation, scalability, extensibility, security, and administrability in the last class. These terms are very important when we talk about the properties of data warehouse architecture. Now, the approach is for data warehouse construction. You already know that we actually have two approaches, top-down and bottom-up approaches. In this case also, to construct a data warehouse, we have these two strategies. First one is top-down and the second one is bottom-up. Okay. The top-down approach. Is this figure visible to everyone? So this S1, S2, ST, these are some external sources. I hope up to now you already got that when we consider this type of data warehouse architecture, then first thing is that we have to collect the data from different sources. Now, looking at this figure, can anybody of you tell me that what type of data warehouse architecture that I'm talking about here and when this figure is referring? Okay, so you will answer this document that what type of data warehouse architecture this figure is representing. Okay, I should get the answer before 3 p.m. And now see, different sources are there. Then we have this staging area, and then ETL process has been conducted, that is extract, transform, and load, and thereby loading it into data warehouse. Then we have the different data marts like this tree in this figure. So this will show you actually different separate domains like sales, like Azure, like IT department. Okay, then we may apply data mining techniques to find out the hidden data out of that and to find out the hidden trend, you can say in this case. So what this figure is representing is a kind of top-down approach. Now, why this is top-down approach? Because if you look at the figure carefully, you'll see that the construction flows from this part to towards the down, right? We have begun here and then we move in this way. So this is a top-down approach. Okay. Now, this top-down approach is first being innovated by Inmons. That's why we often call it as Inmons top-down approach. So in exam, you may find that directly they refer Inmons approach. So Inmons approach is nothing but Inmons top-down approach. Okay. Now, in this Inmons top-down approach, you'll see that these are the source system. Then extraction takes place to the data warehouse. Then we have different tools. Here in this case, we are using data mining tools. Now, what are the components in this case? In this case means in this top-down approach. Let's see some of them. Essential components. First, from the figure itself, you have already seen that external approaches. External sources is a source from where data is collected, irrespective of the type of the data. Data can be either structured or unstructured, or sometimes it is semi-structured. Semi-structured means combination of both. Okay. Then next essential component is tag area. This tag area where you know that ETL being performed. Since the data extracted from the external sources, they are not following a particular format, right? Because we are collecting the data from different sources, so there is no particular format. There is no particular one single format that is being followed there. So we have to convert it to one, and for that we'll perform this thing under this stack area. Okay. So for that, we will use ETL tool: extract, transform, and load. Then data warehouse, you all know already know that this is again an essential component of the. After cleansing of the data, it is stored in the data warehouse as a central repository. It actually stores the metadata, and the actual data gets stored in the data mart. Then data mart, we discussed already that this is a part of the storage component, and it stores the information of particular functions of an organization, which is handled by single authority. Like IT sale is being handled by IT department, then Azure, then say sales, then marketing. So there may be different data marts. There can be as many number of data marts in an organization depending upon the function. So there is no limit on the number of the data marts you may have in an organization. We can also say that data mart contains subset of the data stored in data warehouse. Even if you can recall, then you may find that I this means told you the definition of data mart as the data mart as a subset of data warehouse. Definitely, this is a subset of data mart, data warehouse. Okay. Then data mining, the practice of analyzing the big data present in the data warehouse is data mining, and it is used to find a hidden pattern that are present in the database or in the data warehouse with the help of some algorithms that we, of course, will discuss in this subject itself. Now, this approach is defined by Inmon, means this top-down approach is defined by Inmon as the data warehouse as a central repository, right, for the complete organization, and the data marts are created from it after the complete data warehouse has been created. So जो Inmon का approach है, इसमें सबसे important क्या है? जो data marts है उसको create किया गया है कब? After the creation of the data warehouse. ठीक है, पहले हमने external sources से data collect किया, डेटा स्टेक एरिया में हमने ETL परफॉर्म करके वो डेटा लोड कर दिया डेटा वेयरहाउस में. सो इसका मतलब क्या है, डेटा वेयरहाउस अभी तक बन चुके हैं और उससे हमने क्या क्रिएट किया, आपका डेटा मार्ट. ठीक है, दिस इज द टॉप डाउन अप्रोच बाय इनबॉर्न. नाउ व्हाट आर द एडवांटेज ऑफ दिस टॉप डाउन अप्रोच? एडवांटेजेस क्या क्या है? Since the data marts are created from the data warehouse, provides consistent dimensions view of the data marts. अब ये जो डायमेंशन व्यू का मतलब क्या है? देखिए, आप आपके डेटा जो है अलग अलग डायमेंशन से है, मतलब है अलग अलग डिवीजन यू कैन कंसीडर. इन केस ऑफ मींस डेटा वी यूजुअली कॉल एट्रीब्यूट एज डायमेंशन. ठीक है, जो एट्रीब्यूट्स है उसको हम एक एक डायमेंशन मान के चलते हैं. जैसे आपका कोई भी एक टेबल ले लो, आप स्टूडेंट टेबल आपने लिया सपोज एज फॉर एग्जांपल. ठीक है, स्टूडेंट में स्टूडेंट आईडी है, स्टूडेंट नेम है, तो ये सबको आप एट्रीब्यूट भी बोल सकते हो, कॉलम भी बोल सकते हो, या हम उसको क्या बोल सकते हैं, डायमेंशंस. तो जो डेटा मार्ट है हमने डेटा वेयरहाउस से क्रिएट किया है, तो ऑब्वियसली जो डेटा मार्ट आपको क्या प्रोवाइड करेंगे, एक डायमेंशनल व्यू ऑफ द डेटा वेयरहाउस, मतलब different attributes of the data warehouse. So it will help you to enhance the process of data warehouse analysis. Now, this Inmon's model is considered as the strongest model for business changes. That's why big organizations always prefer this Inmon's approach. And obviously, when you already have the data warehouse and you already know that in data warehouse or data warehouse, one of the important properties is subject oriented, if you recall it. So यहाँ data mart को create करना बहुत easy हो जाता है क्योंकि already data in the data warehouse follows the property subject oriented. Now we have seen the advantage, so similarly we have to find out disadvantage also. What is the disadvantage of this top-down approach? Disadvantage क्या हो सकता है? The disadvantage is that the cost or time taken in designing and maintaining this type of top-down approach is comparatively high. Okay, कि आप देखो पहले आपने डेटा एक्सटर्नल डेटा सोर्सेज से कलेक्ट किया, उसमें ETL प्रोसेस लगाया, डेटा वेयरहाउस बनाया, उसमें से डेटा मार्ट। सो ओवरऑल जो कॉस्ट और टाइम है, ठीक है, ये कंजम्पशन इन कंपैरेटिव, means if you compare it with some other approaches, you'll find that this is a little bit high. That is the single most disadvantage of this top-down approach. So I hope that this inbound approach is now clear to you. I'll ask question. Okay, so take it seriously. Then I'm coming to bottom up approach. ध्यान रख, मैंने अभी आप लोगों को बोला था टॉप डाउन अप्रोच का एक इम्पोर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है, ठीक है, वो क्या था? This question you have to answer. I am giving you one hint that if you look at the figure of this inbound approach, यहाँ पे आपको क्या दिखाई देगा? ये कार्व को अच्छे से देखोगे, ऐसे बनाते हुए जा रहे हो, सबसे पहले क्या बना? ये, उसके बाद ही क्या बना आपका? ये सब, ठीक है, यही इसका इंपॉर्टेंट कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स है टॉप डाउन अप्रोच। आप सभी का आंसर मुझे 3 बजे से पहले मिल जाना चाहिए कि व्हाट इज द मेन characteristic of top-down approach. Okay, today I have to get the answers from each of one. Last few classes I have noticed that few of you have not answered this question, so today not repeat the same. Okay, now coming to this bottom-up approach, look at this figure carefully. See, you may take a screenshot of this bottom-up approach and you may take the screenshot of this टॉप डाउन अप्रोच। ये टॉप डाउन अप्रोच का है जो मैंने अभी डिस्कस कर लिया था, इसका एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लीजिए आप लोग। आप इसका एक स्क्रीनशॉट ले लो। अब दोनों को अगर आप लोग ऑब्जर्व करोगे तो यू फाइंड द डिफरेंस। तो अब डिफरेंस क्या है देखो, ये एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेस है, यहां तक सही दिख रहा है। एक्सटर्नल सोर्सेस से हमने क्या किया? स्टैगिंग एरिया, राइट? स्टैगिंग एरिया में क्या परफॉर्म किया? ETL परफॉर्म किया। अब जो ETL हमने परफॉर्म किया उससे डायरेक्ट हम कहा जा रहे हैं? कहा जा रहे हैं? डेटा मार्ट। ओके सानू, आप बताओ कि जो टॉप डाउन अप्रोच था उसमें ये क्या हुआ था? ETL से हम डायरेक्ट डेटा मार्ट गए थे। Sanu, you tell me what happened to the top down approach. Have we gone to the data mart directly from the ETL process? I think Sanu could not answer this question. So coming to the Mamta, can you answer this question? In the case of top down approach, from that staging area ETL process, where we have gone?
Sir, in top-down approach, after staging area, it went to data warehouse, then data mart come. But in bottom approach, first after staging area, data mart is present.
Okay.
This is different.
Very good. Mamta, you are correct. Thank you. So that is the answer. So in this case, bottom up, if you look at carefully, you'll see that from ETL, we come to the data mart first. माने क्या कर रहे हैं हम लोग? पहले data mart बना लिया, उसके बाद ही हम उसको कहाँ लोड कर रहे हैं? Data warehouse. So ETL प्रोसेस में L है, ठीक है, लोडिंग प्रोसेस है, वो data warehouse में नहीं हो रहा है अभी। अभी कहाँ हो रहा है आपका? अभी हो रहा है आपका data mart में, ठीक है। दिस इज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन टॉप डाउन अप्रोच एंड बॉटम अप अप्रोच। सेकंड क्वेश्चन जो क्वेश्चन पूछा था उसका आंसर तो अभी मिल गया, आपको बताना है हर एक जन को, ठीक है। अब बॉटम अप अप्रोच में आपने देख लिया, इसे डेटा वेयरहाउस कम्स आफ्टर डेटा मार्ट एंड देन वी अप्लाई व्हाट? डेटा माइनिंग टेक्निक्स। दिस फिगर क्लियर टू एवरीवन? ये फिगर सबको समझ में आ गया?
So,
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Now coming to this Kimbells approach, ठीक है, सेम सेम चीज है। अभी देखो sales, HR, finance, banking, ETL process, dimensional data warehouse, users, data mart within data warehouse. In this approach means Kimbell's approach. First, the data is extracted from the external sources. That same as we have in the case of top-down approach. Then the data go through the staging area and loaded into the data mart instead of data warehouse. So in Mon's approach में था, उसमें क्या हुआ था, पहले data warehouse, उसके बाद हमने क्या बनाया था, data mart. वो easy था. क्यों easy था? Because data warehouse has a property that is subject oriented. अब ऐसा यहाँ आपका Kimbells approach में नहीं हो रहा है. यहाँ हमने क्या किया, पहले data marts बनाया, उसके बाद ही data warehouse. So data marts are created first and provide reporting capability, and it addresses a single business area. These data marts are then integrated into the data warehouse. So this approach given by Kimbell as data marts are created first and provides a clean view for analysis, and the data warehouse created after complete data marts have been created. So जो रेट में लिखा है, मैं फिर से बोल रहा हूँ, approach by Kimbells is that, देखो ये Kimbells होना चाहिए, यहाँ Kimbells लिख दिया मैं, कोई बात नहीं. सो यहाँ डेटा मार्ट्स को पहले बनाया, उसके बाद डेटा वेयरहाउस हमने बनाया है, ठीक है. Now advantage क्या हो सकता है? Data marts are created first, so the reports are quickly generated. We can accommodate more number of data marts here, and in this way, data warehouse can be extended. Then also the cost and time taken in designing this model is comparatively low. Comparatively with respect to top-down approach. Now, what will be the disadvantage? Disadvantage is that you already got that maximum time we prefer which type of approach? Top-down approach. Now, in these models, this model means Kimbell's bottom-up approach. This is not as strong as top-down approach. From which point of view? From dimensional view of data mart is not consistent as in the above approach. Means यहाँ जो है bottom-up approach जो है, एक चीज में top-down approach से क्या हो जाता है? Weak हो जाता है. वो क्या है? Top-down approach में dimensional view of data ज़्यादा सही है, but bottom-up में that is not the case. So that's all for today. As the last question is concerned, you need to tell me the difference between top-down and bottom-up approach for data warehouse architecture creation. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you.